ACC regular season champs after a really successful, run there.
Yeah.
And now the next step in the journey is to go up to South Bend and the chance to win a tournament title too.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Part of our goals is to win 40 games, win every ACC series, win the regular season, and then, a tournament championship is definitely on there. So it's just a different element of grittiness. You don't really, you've seen most of the teams, but there's some that could be in there that you haven't. So you just got to go, and it's just one game at a time. So survive and move on. But pretty excited for it, yeah.
So does the character change now that you move to the postseason? These games are now all about winning, less about preparation, and you disagree?
Yeah. It's we've been preparing all season long, so I think we're prepared on what our skill set is. I think preparation is a big part of this time of year. So how you've been preparing, that's the same. But we're going to see, do we get a rise ball, a drop ball? Do we get 6 pitchers? Is it 1? Is it a power hitting team? Is it a slapping team? Is it a good defensive team? You got to figure out. So we've been preparing for that all season. So every team that we've played has brought us something different. And then when we know what we're capable of and know how to strategically go against that, then that is where the preparation comes in. So yeah, definitely. It's definitely about strategy and all those kind of things. Yeah. And exciting because I think we're been really prepared through our conference season. We faced up Vautech's a great offensive team. I think Louisville did a good job. Louisville had some good pitching. Vautech had legit rise balls. We've seen all of it. So now it's a matter of being able to simplify it and do what you do with the knowledge that we've gained.
I know we've asked you a lot about the growth of the ACC, but it seems like not just Clemson, a lot of programs, a lot of athletic departments are investing in the people, putting in the resources to make softball really work on a conference level. Is it as simple as people love watching the sport and the administrators agree, or what are you kind of seeing as the growth here?
I think that's an administrative question. I think for a long time I've really tried to understand, of course I want to fight for the best for our sport, but in the big picture, where does that fit in? In the big picture of return on investment, when you're talking about bottom line dollars or bottom line interactions or bottom line fan engagement or bottom line falling in love with the sport, where are those? And I think Mr. Alford's really done a good job of really understanding the value that we bring to Florida State and the value that we bring to women's athletics, the value that we bring to our social media platform. There's a lot of areas that maybe it's just not dollars that are speaking to him and to the administration and to now a lot of other universities. So I think we're really proud of that in our sport. I know we are very proud of that here because I think that our community really enjoys being a part of this program and this complex. I think soccer is the same way. So yeah, I think that's an administrative question when it comes down to bottom line. But I think from our perspective, we're trying to be the best versions of ourselves for our community, for our school, for our growth. And eventually, if stadiums were built bigger, maybe more seats, and then maybe all of a sudden we have the opportunity for return on investment. But right now we're just so handcuffed with the amount of seats, you just can never get to that number. So when the Hall of Fame is growing and they're putting second levels on there, I know the University of Oklahoma is a $25 million stadium going in with 6,000 seats, so now you're starting to see some people going to this could be return on investment. Then, I think we're in a whole nother category. Yeah.
So, Coach, you guys are known for putting a lot of pressure on the defense, your running game and all that. Is that something that you try to ramp up and do even more as we get to this time of year, or is it just pretty much
I don't think there's anything we do more. I think the biggest thing right now this time of year is just do what we've been doing daily. So I think if you walk into this next season, regular season, and now it's the next season, you just really fall back on everything that you've been doing. So do the other team that we play give us the opportunity to run more? Then maybe we run more. If the other team doesn't give us that opportunity, if it's a big pitching staff that's got a low ERA, then we've got to really work situational hitting more. There's just more things that present us. So I think what makes us successful is we have those options. We aren't just a long ball hitting team. We aren't just a base running team. We aren't just a pitching team. We're not just a defensive team. We have a lot of areas that we can have go to. So now we've got to be able to rely on those to give us the opportunities.
Now that classes are over, do you feel like you have more of their attention, or does that change at all, or?
I find that the kids, when classes are done, they don't really know what to fill their time with. They've been so busy and their time's been so structured. So I think we have to be pretty good at trying to maintain that same schedule. So you still lift in the morning, you have some time to break, you come in, you do some scouting, and then later in the day we would practice. So I think we try to mimic the ability to maybe not be at the pool all day long or do those kind of things that could really drain you, and of course, how do you kill time, so but you'll find the kids here all day long now, just kind of doing the relaxation of hitting in the cage and not having to worry about, I got to be at my tutor, I've got to do this, I got to do that, now I got to get my cage time in. Now it can be like a little bit more time spent with their teammates. Yeah. We'll also do some team stuff together, so we'll do some painting, we'll do some movie time, we'll have ice cream fun at the house, we'll do those kind of things, so we get to do a little more social time, and it's not on the clock, you can relax and enjoy it. Yeah.
Have you seen, Janai had that ACL where she had to come back from it and just gain confidence, but you allowed her the chance to do some scouting out of OKC, and then how has she developed and matured for y'all?
Yeah, I think that we all knew what was in there. It's just a matter of Janai knowing what was in there. And again, I think that the sport brings so many different avenues for players to figure out who they are and who they want to be. And so unfortunately for her, it was the ACL, and held her down. And I think a little bit of COVID too. So there's the ACL, but there was also the COVID protocol held her out for a little while. And that was, a little bit frustrating in that sense. So yeah, I think everyone has their different journeys. I'm just so happy to see a smile on her face. I see her down there in the field right now, but a smile on her face daily, like she's a happy kid, she's happy to be around, so she's playing softball at a high level, and that warms anyone's heart. But when you're in the grind with her and you know what she's been going through, it's especially warming to mine.